How's it hanging? I'm back with the most anticipated Kingdom Rush news this year. Chaos Mode for Frontiers just released. Coziness fave. The target audience for this mod is people who are clinically insane, and I believe KM5 found just the guy who fits that bill. But first, a little housekeeping. I'll be playing from a first save, of course, playing on veteran and beating every stage, no lives lost. So without further ado, let's get ready to slop and roll. Now I have learned a thing or two about the naughty boy KM5 from my time playing Origins Chaos Mode, so I knew straight out of the gate that artillery was an integral partner on my business model canvas. Now, if you're out of the loop, Chaos Mode refrains from buffing enemies' health and damage for the most part. For example, the Thugalaga here, they have been turned into rip-off bandits with a dodge chance, and the Dune Raiders now have a chance to inflict bleed, which makes them quite deadly in hand-to-hand combat. But so far, it was manageable with only these two enemies on the board. It really says something about this mod when I feel a sense of accomplishment by first trying the first stage. Moving on to the next stage, I already knew exactly what to do. And I also made sure to build a barrack in the back, as I sensed the disturbance in the force. And yup, KM5's fave.
B, how the fuck you know this? How? Hold on, bro.
Anywho, even Chaos Mode was not enough to break through my choke point, so I beat the stage while calling all the waves. God damn, I was not messing around that day. I made so much haste that I even caught up to Malaga, and he had no choice but to kinda like just turn around and give me an awkward boss fight. And I beat his ass naturally, of course. Now here I was thinking that this time would be different. But silly me didn't anticipate the enemies taking note of the current artillery fashion, but I was not caving in so easily. After all, I was doing it first, so I stood my ground, now locked into an ongoing arms race with the Thuginators and their pregnant dogs. A few resets and headaches were had due to my stubbornness, but they don't call me the Wiggler for nothing, so in the end, my guns would be proven superior. On the next level, I made sure to take precautions by sending out a team to scout the area. And not a single mud pool was found, so I knew it was safe to indulge in some controlled demolition. But to my disappointment, not a single level 4 tower was unlocked. Well, except for the Elven Bastion, of course, but that hardly counts. Not even I would dare to play with such powers. But 2 level 3 artilleries with some support from the Rangers would suffice for this. Friendly fire was turned off on the Sandworm, which made me quite sad, but this level was over quickly anyway, so I would not let this ruin my Frontiers experience.
Friendly fire's turned off from the fucking... Oh my god, Sandworm. Really? Wasn't too bad, just artillery? And there you go. Instant win.
However, I was not about to become complacent, so with the aforementioned Tuk and the introduction of the now artillery immune Scorpions, it was now clear to me that a new tower that could measure up to the modern rural crime environment was needed. And that tower turned out to be the mighty, and I said mighty goddammit, High Elven Mage. And mighty it had to be, because this level was also home to the guys you don't talk to before their breakfast, and the whack-a-mole sandgrades.
Oh, fuck off.
Not to mention the guys who wasn't even invited. Needless to say, I had a lot to tackle in this one. Trying to insta-kill the sand wraiths didn't quite fit the bill, so I revised my strategy and came to the conclusion that I always try and incorporate the dwarf in every situation except the one where I actually need it. So I decided to just be square, and luckily these decisions quickly turned the stage around for me. After discovering a potential investment on the Lenerian tower market, finding out my life was a lie and getting sand in my boots, I decided that I was going back to pick up some leftover stars on the road. I was not making the same mistake this time. I only wanted to see how far I could get without trying too hard. Maybe KM5 had turned the game into quote-unquote freaky rush. Or maybe I would just happen to judge every situation correctly and just destroy the whole game. You miss all the shots you don't take. After ducking the defeat screen 5 times in a row, I found myself ducking the artillery shells raining down around my barracks. As annoying as it was, I was not walking back on my word on this day. I completed the heroic on the next level too, and then I got bored, so I decided to go to Nazaru's gate, where some serious canooners were smashed. Even Nazaru's deplorable sidekick had to pack his bags and get lost. Every part of me knew my chances of first trying Nazaru were slim, but nevertheless, I still managed to get pissed off after getting mollywopped on a boss fight I didn't understand.
Oh, come on.
Bullshit. But I do understand most of it now, and after having a quick look at the changelog, I thought I would just read out the changes for you. So, okay, buckle up, here we go. So Nazaru now has magic resistance, probably magical immune, plus 1000 extra HP. His insta-kill now has a global range, and so does his polymorph, which I didn't even know he had, but I sure as hell do now. He now summons 10 henchmen instead of 2, that's low, and he can give them demon shields, which absorbs 8 hits. And also, just to top it all off, the towers he stuns are now permanently removed from the fight. So, all in all, fun time. And the next attempt I got in was so close that I kept pouring in attempts, and it pretty much only got worse from here. So I decided to cut my losses and beat the rest of the challenges. I will admit I was a bit exhausted after the many rounds with Nazaru, but luckily the genies were there to give me a picking up and carried me through the iron by dropping a fat 30 bomb kill streak. What? Oh, fuck off.
Oh, I shouldn't have bought polymorph.
Now, with all the capital secured, Captain Blackthorn being 666 down with Davy Jones as usual, and me blasting sadistic intent out of those almighty speakers of mine. This is what I'm talking about. Even the goddamn girls know! I flawlessly blocked all the Goonies, leaving Nazaru exposed to the amalgamation of towers. Apparently his demise wasn't enough to hold him back from showing up at the after party, but I guess this wasn't too bad, since I still beat the challenge on my first attempt, and with that proof that the barbs fit the bill. I am laughing internally as I think about Baduk scratching his head as all this is unfolding on his screen. The heroic was basically the same thing, just more challenging and with more towers. Even Nazaru popped in on this one, but after wiggling a little bit, I sure got the job done. And that concludes the first part of this calm and composing playthrough. Type out some stupid comments, let's wait and see if a second episode shows up. Thanks for having me, and have a good day!